So there's two parts in the intro where it shows all the villains that showed up in the East Blue and the order they came in. First is Buggy, Kuro, and Don Krieg. Then in the second one there's Arlong, Alvida after she ate her devil fruit, Smoker, and finally Dragon, even though like he isn't really a villain. Or at least we don't know, but whatever. But the only thing is that, where's my boy Morgan at? Also, I just want to be clear that most of the time I'm just exaggerating this stuff. Like, I'm not actually going to destroy my entire setup just because the hand Buggy used to hold his knife changed between the last two episodes. But I know you guys are smart enough to know that.
You okay, Zoro? How bad are you injured?
Just shut up and don't worry about how I'm doing. I need to concentrate if I'm gonna get us out of this.
It was kinda shown in episode 4, but this really is the first time Zoro's pushing himself to the limits for Luffy. And it's really crazy when you think about it. Luffy at most met him like 2 days ago, and Zoro's already willing to push himself this far. It's also a really good indicator of how much honor he has and his unwillingness to go back on his word, which both have huge effects on what he does later on.
Those three think they can mock me? Screw that! I consider this act of aggression a declaration of war.
From how Buggy was talking last episode, you would think that the Buggy Bomb did some serious damage, but he's just sitting here perfectly fine. Also, there's no reason why he couldn't have just defeated Zoro right here before he took the cage away. The manga did a way better job of this by using the dust to let Zoro and the others escape, so I just wonder why the anime didn't do that too. I mean, they could have just changed the 30-second recap for this instead.
There you are, Mohji. I hope you wouldn't mind if I take the pirate hunter's head. Be my guest.
Mohji's introduction makes him seem like a super big villain, but after this episode, him and Richie basically just become comic relief. So sorry to the two Mohji fans that want him to find the One Piece.
Oh, hi, Navigator. I guess you can have this. You got me out of a pretty sticky situation. Great! The key to the cage! Did you go steal it for me? Thanks, Nami! I only did it so we'd be even, and now I don't owe you anything, so we're square, okay?
Now is when Nami's view on Luffy and Zoro and how a pirate is starts to change. I didn't mention it earlier, but when Zoro was carrying Luffy's cage, Nami even was shocked to see that a pirate cared enough to rescue their friend. This slow change in her is really gonna pay off later in this episode, and like always, I'll talk about it when we get there.
Yeah, sure!
Okay, Shushu has to be rage baiting Luffy here. The first time I saw this, I hated it because I thought it was just a way to make the arc longer. But this is actually going to lead to another great moment when Mohji's destroying the store later.
How's Zoro?
I told him he really should see a doctor, but he insisted that he didn't need to and just wanted to sleep it off.
Zoro's endurance is going to be another key part of his character that basically saves the crew so many times. Like in Arlong Park when he destroys one of Arlong's strongest men while being extremely injured, and when nothing happened.
He's guarding the store.
He's guarding it?
And the man who used to run this store was a very close friend of mine. When he passed, I assumed the responsibility of taking care of Shushu.
He died?
Yes. 3 months ago, after fighting his illness for a very long time.
And this starts the beginning of One Piece's extremely sad backstories. Also, I feel like this isn't the only time this happens, but Nami and the Mirror guy were talking, but their mouths weren't moving at all. Oh yeah, I guess I didn't mention him, but he really isn't that important, so let's move on.
Don't tell me he's been waiting for his master to return all this time.
That seems to be the consensus. But I find that very hard to believe. Shushu is a smart dog. He's probably known for a while that his master isn't coming back.
Shushu deciding to stay here makes a lot of sense since the closest person to him was his owner, and he loved him so much that he was willing to watch over his store every single day. Also, this makes it even more heartbreaking when Shushu has to watch it get burnt down.
There is no animal in this world that beast Tamer Mohji can't bend to do his bidding. Shake. Why does it hurt so bad?
I can't tell if this is supposed to be a flashback arc or what would have happened, but either way, the only reason Moji's raising stakes in this arc is because Luffy is in the cage. Without this, he would just be some bum whose best feat is destroying a wall or something.
That was intense. At least now I'm out of that cage. How did you survive that attack?
You're alive?
Just got lucky, I guess. Surviving an attack like that isn't normal. I figured you'd be scattered all
How does Nami not get that Luffy being made out of rubber makes him a lot stronger than normal? I get that she didn't see him fight yet, but still. For the first 20 to 30 episodes, this happens a lot where another character's eye-catcher song plays while another character's wanted poster shows. And it feels pretty weird since I'm so used to how it is for the rest of the show, but that's just a tiny nitpick. Also, sorry eye-catcher fans, but I'm probably not going to mention them for a long time since it's literally just a picture of a straw hat.
That tickles, Shoo-Shoo.
This is just so heartbreaking to see since earlier we saw Shushu trying to stop Mohji while different moments of his past play, and then he just has to watch while everything important to him burns to the ground. Shushu serves as a great way to show Luffy's beliefs when he goes after Mohji, and I'll go into that further in a little bit. But this is honestly a lot sadder than I remember it being. I'm gonna say this so much, but Oda's great at making the reader feel certain emotions, which is honestly one of the reasons One Piece is so peak. Also, we don't know what caused his owner to die. Shushu's inspired by the Japanese dog with a similar story that happened to him at a train station, so something similar might have happened, but I don't really know.
Sorry! I apologize for attacking. I don't want any trouble.
There's no reason for you to apologize to me. Because of you, that dog will never get his treasure back. Now, because of that, I'm gonna kick your ass.
This kind of style is used a lot early on to really emphasize something, like in a thumbnail for episode 2. But here I feel like it's done the best because Luffy is generally mad at Mohji for destroying Shushu's treasure, and really the only thing he has left to remember of his owner. Mohji's just an awful guy, so seeing him get hit for destroying the shop is just so great to see. It's basically a sneak peek of what happens in Jaya and Sabayori. And this builds Luffy's character so well too. When he sees something he thinks is wrong, Luffy's just gonna lock in. I'm honestly surprised more people don't realize this about Luffy until Arlong Park, because he's been the best written character in the entire show since the start. And over time he becomes the best protagonist of all time. Like, come at me Dragon Ball and Naruto fans, these guys got nothing on my goat.
Oh, you're alive, pirate! You know, I thought for sure that lion was gonna tear your head off and end it all. And I wish he had, cause then there'd be one less pirate in the world!
Nami's reaction here is so valid because she knows what it's like to lose something that important to her. So all her hatred for pirates is boiling up and making her hate Luffy for just being one. And Luffy not caring at all is another sign that he understands how people feels and just doesn't care. Any other MC would have started telling her that he was doing the right thing, but Luffy's not like that. He lets other people decide that for themselves.
Sorry, but that's all I could say for you. That bastard lion ate all the rest of it. He fought the lion in order to save the dog's food?
Now Nami being really shocked here also makes so much sense since she's never seen a pirate be anything more than a heartless beast that only cares about themselves. So seeing one actually help others and showing selflessness would be something crazy to see. Also, giving Shushu one last bag of dog food was such a good thing to do. It gave Shushu part of his treasure back and something to protect and continue living for. Luffy's straw hat also symbolizes this meaning of treasure thing during his fight with Buggy, and guess what? I'll talk about it when we get there. And also having Luffy's backstory with Shanks right before this arc keeps the value something has on someone fresh on the viewer's mind, so overall Oda is cooking.
I'm pathetic. Shushu and this young one have fought so hard, and yet I, the mayor, have done nothing but sit back and watch our town be obliterated by Buggy and his despicable crew. This town is a treasure to me and all its citizens. From here on out, I refuse to let Buggy and his crew terrorize us anymore!
And then he proceeds to do nothing for the rest of the arc.
Are you gonna join our crew or what? Huh? Come on! I'll never sink so low as to become a pirate. But I suppose we could team up in order to achieve our common goal.
People who say Nami was the second crew member need to watch this because I've always seen this as her and Luffy just being allies until she officially joins in Arlong Park. This is the equivalent of saying Momonosuke was a crew member. Like, it's actually really surprising how many people don't know this.
Come out, Buggy the Clown! I'm Mayor Boodle and this town is my treasure! I won't let you terrorize my people any longer, so come out and fight me!
I know I've been clowning on the mayor so far, but this is still a cool thing to do. Sure, I don't really care because he does nothing besides talk, but still. Anyways, that's the end of the episode. Overall, I find this episode to be a decent bit better than last episode. It does better with Shushu's backstory, and the second half wasn't that slow, so I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I'm probably going to change basically all the rankings next episode since they're not that great. Like, last episode is probably gonna be a 6. And don't get me wrong, a 6 out of 10 is not a bad episode. Just One Piece has so many great episodes that having everything as a 7 or 8 out of 10 would just be weird. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And next episode, Epic Showdown, Swordsman Zoro vs. Acrobat Kabaji.